stem changing verbs are verbs that change the first part, one vowel, to either two vowels or one. And today we're going to talk about OTUE stem changing verbs. Now, just like E to IE stem changing verbs, they change in all the forms with the exception of nosotros and vosotros, and they end in either AR, ER, IR. And this is the O in the verb, and it changes to UE in those four forms. So let's go through a couple of the most common ones and practice how we conjugate them with different endings. And before we do a verb as an example, I just want to say that, remember, if verbs end in AR, they take AR endings, ER, ER endings, IR, IR endings. That part hasn't changed. It's just the O goes from O to UE in all of the forms but the nosotros and vosotros. So let's practice with the verb encontrar, to find. So repite, and I'm going to use subject pronouns just so that we understand where it's some changes, but they're optional in Spanish. Yo encuentro, repite, yo encuentro. Tú encuentras. Él encuentra. Nosotros encontramos. Vosotros encontráis. Ellos encuentran. And that is how you conjugate OTUE with AR verbs. You have the O, as, a, amos, I, son, and the stem change occurs in all the forms except for nosotros and vosotros. So let's try it with a verb that ends in ER. Let's take the verb volver, to return. Repite. Yo, and remember adding ER endings of AR. Yo vuelvo. Tú vuelves. Él vuelve. Nosotros volvemos. Vosotros volvéis. Ellos vuelven. And that's volver, to return. And again, O2E, but in all the forms but the nosotros, vosotros, ER endings. Now for IR verbs, same endings for the most part, except remember in the nosotros and vosotros, for all IR verbs, it's imos and is, but all the other endings are the same. So dormir, to sleep. Repite, yo duermo. Tú duermes. Él duerme. Nosotros dormimos. Vosotros dormís. Ellos duermen. And that is how you conjugate OTUE stem changing verbs in the present tense. Now, if you want to know a few other of the many verbs that go OTUE, a few are, por ejemplo, contar, to count or to count on, almorzar, to eat lunch, costar, to cost. We talked about encontrar, to find, morir, to die. It's morbid, but you do see it. Mostrar, to show. Probar, to try, as in try clothes on or to try new foods or to taste. Recordar, to remember. Sometimes it also can mean to remind someone of something or someone. Soñar, to dream. We talked about volver, to return, and dormir, to sleep. And those are just some of the many, many verbs that go O to E in the present tense. So there you have it. If you have more questions, put them in the comments below. If you want to practice, si quieres practicar una frase, pon esta frase en los comentarios. And if you haven't already subscribed to makingspanish simple.com, subscribe today for more content, whether it's videos such as these on grammar, vocab, or slang. And also I post on Instagram. So if you aren't following me on Instagram, follow me there. My YouTube channel also offers a lot of videos and have different playlists for the level of Spanish, what you're looking for. And just subscribe, because every single month I also come out with monthly recommendations on what to watch and read. So go to makingspanish simple.com, subscribe, follow me on all my social media, and que tengas un buen día y a conjugar en los verbos ortográficos.